Well, it was 1968 when I met him. And when I met him, he was already in trouble. But he had gotten out of trouble, you know. And then we met, and he told me about himself, that he wasn't saved when he got into the trouble, when he said accidentally killed this person. But anyway, they sent him to prison, and he got saved after he got to prison. He said when he was in prison, reading his Bible, and there was a light that came through the window, and said he just fell on his knees and went to praying. So he said he got on his knees and he went to praying, and God just showed him that he needed to be saved, and it was wrong for him to commit that murder that he did, and he asked God to forgive him for it. Governor Hunter gave him a pardon, and after that, then he got a job at the Highway Patrol. And my girls and I, we used to sing. And this guy who was working with him asked the guy rather, did he know anybody that wanted to go to prison with him and help the inmates out there, because he hadn't got himself saved and he wanted to try to save somebody out there. So we started going with them, and that's how he and I met. Well, first, the food came into his mind first, because he said he was either at the mall or anyway, he was at a store, and said this person came in and she wanted some food. She had a little money, but she didn't have enough to pay for the food, and he hoped her to get what she needed. And then after he hoped her, and when he went out the store, he met a person who didn't have anything, and he gave him his last dime, and that's how that got started. So he started with the food business before he started with the toys. So after he hoped with that, and he said he thought about the inmates in prison, that the children were suffering along with them. Well, said the inmates wasn't doing too much suffering, it was the family who was suffering. So he thought about maybe they need toys, and so I remember he used to be a toy store out there at Blue Ridge Mall, and we would go there. It was a little doll store, but they done tore it down now. And we would get toys, and we didn't have, couldn't get many because we didn't have much to give. So, but we did the best we could with that, and that's how the toys got started. I really appreciate the one that keeping his memory alive, because if they hadn't, I couldn't have done it by myself. So my thanks go out to Miss Unruh and Brother Ely, because without her taking me out to, be with the people who doing the tours, I couldn't get out there. And without Brother Ely taking over when Al died, it wouldn't have been one. So I'm grateful to them. I thank God, and I'm grateful to them for it.
Well, I had my own ministry, and one of my board members was Mr. Darrell Unruh, who was Grace's husband. And he came to me one day and asked me if I would serve on the board with several other folks of the Al Jones ministry. And I said, well, I really don't have time to do that, Darrell. And he said, yes, you do. And I said, well, great. That's what I really wanted to do, was to serve on the board. And so that's how we got started. Darrell was very close to Al and that ministry, and there was a heartbeat and a passion for that. And he thought that our two ministries would mix and work together. Accountability is a very important part of my Christian growth. Al wanted to have somebody holding him accountable to make sure what he was doing was honoring to God.
I just know that my husband had a heart for the ministry and helping people, That's how he was ministered to for so many years. And when Al came to him, he just really respected him and felt that his ministry was made a profound difference in a lot of people's lives here in the community. And a friend of ours was a personal friend of Al's, Joanna Sloan. She was asked to serve on the board with a couple of other ladies that I know. And when they approached my husband to come serve on the board, he was more than willing to do it. So.
The Al Jones ministry was started because Al Jones saw a need in the community and acted upon that need as a Christian. The ministry has grown from a small toy collection to a greater collection of toys and ministry to prisoners and their children. After Al's death, Emmaus Ministries, led by Dr. Richard Ely, took over the ministry. An older Bible study group he ministered to for years separated the toys, collected, and bagged them for pickup. The ministry was led by 2 prison chaplains. Both of these pastors passed away, and the ministry was taken over by Western Carolina Rescue Ministries. The toys were separated and bagged with the assistance of Friend of the Earth Garden Club members and employees of DEU Enterprises. When they were unable to continue with the collection of the toys, the ministry was adopted by Asheville Christian Academy, and that's where it has remained. One Buncombe County prison chaplain's clerk wrote, "I got to organize and watch the dads excitedly wrap toys for their kids. One dad said, 'Oh man, Caitlin is going to love this. This has become a perfect fit for the school, and that the kids are seeing how they can become the hands and feet of Christ through ministry service. What a blessing it has become to this school and these young people to continue this worthy outreach.'"